Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the conversation series.
Because creators are businesses.
What we do is not simple.
Give, the fans everything that they deserve.
Being creative
is like doing a 5,000 piece puzzle.
Is something that you can learn and do over and over again.
Always be as authentic as I can be.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the conversation series. I am so thrilled today to have Miss Shannon Russell here with me. She is the creator, the founder behind Second Act Success. She is empowering women to live unfulfilling careers and build joyful, purpose-driven businesses. Shannon, thank you so much for joining me today.
Thank you so much for inviting me, Danielle. I'm excited for the conversation.
Yes, I'm so excited. I want to hop right in and just, how did Second Act Success come to be? What was kind of the gap you saw in the market that you wanted to go and tackle?
Yeah, well, I had made a career transition myself. So I did that with very little help and guidance. And so really struggled trying to figure out what my second act would be. And then my second act actually was building a business, and I built a franchise business. And while I was working that business, some customers would ask me, well, how did you go from a television producer to owning a business? And it would spark these conversations of, can you help me?
Yeah.
And then friends would ask me, and I just saw a need, especially for women who just felt like maybe the career they chose at 20 didn't match them a little bit later in life, and that they wanted to change but didn't know how to pursue it. So that's where it all came from.
I love it. And now you've got a podcast, you've got a book that you've put out. From all of this, from creating the business and getting it up and running, why stem out? Like, what was the moment for you of, okay, I can go write this book, I can go start this podcast, I can go and start adding all these things that people can be more involved with Second Act Success?
Yeah, I think it's just about reaching more people that maybe don't work with you one-on-one. And for me, I started the podcast at the same time as my coaching. So that's kind of grown alongside of me and evolved over the years. But the book was really like, I know I'm not going to be able to work with every woman who can actually need the guidance that I didn't have when I left my first career. So that was really the catalyst. And I've wanted to be a writer since I was 5 years old. So it was checking both boxes there. And really just, I think in any business, it's nice to have different creative points. And I don't want to say revenue streams necessarily, but just different things that you're dabbling into to keep yourself excited and invested in the business as well, and to just bring more people into your world, however they like to learn or want to connect with you.
I think that's the biggest piece. How can you just bring more people in so they're hearing the messages that you're putting out and everything that you're doing? I think it's just the name of the game these days.
Yeah, and it is a message, right? It is like just getting out there and saying you can get unstuck and you can figure out what else you want to do. And here are some strategies, right? So just kind of like sprinkling that anywhere I go and any way I can connect with someone.
I love that. Growing up, were your parents entrepreneurial? Did you have any entrepreneurs in the family, or are you kind of the first one that went out and created something?
That's such a good question. My parents both got married at 18, didn't go to college, just had 9-to-5 jobs. My dad's very blue collar. But so yeah, no entrepreneurship. Although in writing the book, I realized that actually my grandfather, who I was extremely close with, started his business at 56. No, I'm sorry, 66. He started it. I'm sorry. Yeah. And then I started realizing he opened a little luncheonette on our local golf course and sold donuts and coffee to the golfers. And so really, I guess it is in my blood from him. And it was an amazing gift to like realize that connection as I was writing the book. I feel closer to him and hope he is looking down on me and gets to read it over my shoulder one day.
Love that. I want to be on that golf course and get a donut. Like, that is the best thing ever.
I love it. And what's funny too is that he might not have served the best coffee or donuts, but the golfers wanted to talk to him because he was like a war veteran, drove cabs around Manhattan, just like very, like did everything. So he had so many stories. And someone recently said to me too, well, you're taking after him in that way too, because you do have a podcast and you're getting your stories out and you love having conversations. And I was like, oh, I got the chills.
I love that. I love that.
Yeah.
When you went and kicked all of this off, and jumped right into this, hopping from one career into this. Was there a challenge or one of the biggest challenges that you have faced when working and becoming an entrepreneur?
Oh gosh, yes. It was, I mean, definitely the fear of like the unknown and making a change, both financial and schedule wise, and just all of that. But then really, I think it's that career identity piece and thinking, well, gosh, I've been a television producer for 16 years. Everyone knows me as that. That is a huge career identity shift. And then I started realizing, you know what? It doesn't matter what anyone else thinks. I'm still the same person. I take those skills and experience with me. And our career is not our identity. We
Yeah.
are this person with so many titles. And once I started thinking about that and embracing it, I started celebrating that past title and being excited for the new ones that were ahead.
I love that. Just jumping right in.
Yeah,
Jumping
it's
right
an
in.
adventure.
Yes, it definitely is. Was there something that surprised you the most putting this entrepreneurship hat on?
Yes. And it was the greatest lesson that I can now share is that our skills do transfer. They actually
Yes.
do. Yes. And for me, I was like, I'm a producer. Like, what can I do outside of Hollywood or New York City on a studio set? But when I really started diving into all of the things I did as a producer, and a producer takes an idea and does everything to get that television show on the screen. So I was like, wow, like I've hired teams, I've done budgets, I've written scripts, I've managed talent. Like all of these things are very transferable to building a business. And once that light bulb went off, I was like, this is the coolest thing. I want everyone to look at their skills and figure out what else they can do because it was a relief. It was a huge relief. And yeah, such a big surprise.
I love that. It's one of those things that you don't think they're going to transfer. You think that this entrepreneurship thing is such a beast and it's got this own set of skills that you need to have when really all of these lessons we've learned in life kind of can come together and come into this entrepreneurship world.
Oh yeah, it's the coolest feeling to think that. And then you can think back to an experience you had and say, "Oh yeah, I'm going to use what happened there and either do it the same or do it differently." But yeah, you're taking all of that with you and it's really like letting yourself realize that, oh yeah, because a lot of times we're so in it that we think everything that we do, everyone else knows how to do,
Yeah.
but it's not the case either. So when you really realize, like, no, I can bring so much to this role,
Yeah.
and I'm really playing up everything I've learned and adding on to it.
Yeah. You mentioned your grandfather, but going through all this, was there any sort of mentor or other key influence you had when you jumped into entrepreneurship that truly you used as a sounding board or anything like that?
I guess, you know what? Not really, to be honest. I didn't have a business coach or a career coach or anything when I started, but I did buy into a franchise. So that I think is a move in itself because I had the advice and support from the corporate office. And I instantly had all of these other friends and other franchisees that I could talk to every day, some of which are still my best friends to this day that we talk all day long every day, even though I've sold that business, but we still talk and know each other and can help each other. And so that was probably the greatest gift I could have given myself was just being in that
Yes.
company to really start and learn about business. And when I got into my coaching business, I do have other coaches that I've, met early on that are kind of mentors to me that are coaches in different spaces that I rely on for advice all the time.
That's fantastic. As you've gone through and you've been working with Second Act Success, have the people that are coming to you, and you don't have to divulge secrets and identities and everything, but has there been a story and that someone has come to you and made a true impact on you?
Oh gosh. Really so much. I feel like I want to cry every time I see one of my clients like jump through that hurdle.
Yeah.
But the biggest one I think one of the biggest ones is a client of mine I worked with for a couple of years, and she wanted to leave her teaching job. And she was working towards that. She started a business on the side. She was able to leave. She grew that side business that was also teaching children,
Okay.
but mobily, kind of going to different locations. And then she said, I want to open a brick and mortar. And I owned one with my franchise. So we started talking about it and planning it, and she opened it last fall. So that was just really cool to see such a big dream and just the evolution of her being able to leave the full-time job, starting a business kind of small and then growing it, I think is really cool.
That's fantastic. What a beautiful story to hear. It's funny. I have teacher friends who are like, God, I want to get out of teaching. I need to get out of teaching. But they want to stay in that education space, whether it's still with children or it's jumping into something that is doing more of the corporate training or whatever it may be, but they've just lost their passion for being in a classroom. It's still so much fun to see their ideas for how they can continue to make an impact and teach.
They absolutely can. I think teaching is sadly a field that there's so many people wanting to leave, but still to give back to children, like you said, in different ways. And there's so many different avenues that they can go down if they choose. And I think it's important for teachers to realize they have so many skills: presenting, management, leadership, writing, like so much that they can really dive into.
When you went from being a producer to that entrepreneurship, like, was there a mindset shift that had to take place to hop into one big pond to the next big pond?
Yeah, it was not easy at all because I went from kind of having this kind of fancy kind of job and world that I was living in and a really great paycheck and celebrities and all that kind of stuff to okay, now I'm home and I have a 3-year-old and a newborn and I'm trying to build this business, and how do I do that? And that whole the idea that when I first bought into my first business and was trying to grow it, it wasn't overnight success. And so it was like, wow, like I've been successful for quite some time. Now this is really,
Yeah,
going to take some time. But I'm kind of a person who loves a new adventure and a challenge. So I was like, all right, I've got to make it work. I have to make it work. And so yeah, that was like just that mindset shift of like, this is different. I'm starting at the bottom and I'm just using what I know to grow this business. And it grew pretty quickly. So again, going back to like, yes, the skills do transfer if you give yourself a chance to try.
I love that. Now you've got kids, you've got young kids. Are you someone who is a workaholic? Are you someone who has that work-life balance? Like, is Shannon able to step back and say, all right, 5 o'clock or 4 o'clock, the day is done. I'll see you guys tomorrow.
Yeah, I do. And I did not have that. And that was my like number one reason for wanting to get out. I had missed my oldest son just turned 13. But I missed his first birthday and it still haunts me. And I missed the first Halloween. And so all of that was like, you know what? This exciting job isn't cutting it anymore when my priorities shifted. But now, I sold my franchise last year successfully, which was great. And now I have my coaching full time. And yeah, now I'm like, okay, client meetings, whatever it is, up until 3 o'clock when I have to get the kids. And then we spend time together. And if they're ignoring me and on their iPads at night, then I might go open the laptop for a little bit. But usually we just spend time together. And it's nice to be able to create my own schedule and have that kind of work-life harmony now as much as I can.
Is there a common misconception or myth around entrepreneurship that people will say to you that you'd love to bust?
I wish I could say the truth that it's 24/7 because it really is. And if you're not working at it 24/7, I think you're thinking about it 24/7. So that is not something I can bust. That is a truth, at least for me. But I think the fact that it can never, I don't want to say replace your income, but give you a livelihood. It definitely takes time, and I always suggest that you save and kind of look at your finances before jumping into it. But I think you can realize what you need to earn for you and your family, and make that happen in your business. And it can be like what we discussed, extra revenue streams and bringing in extra ways of working with clients or customers and adding extra products to your product suite. Whatever it is possible. It just takes time. It's not going to be overnight, but you can live a comfortable life as a small business owner.
I love it. Is there a piece of advice that you love to hand out or that you would love to give other entrepreneurs that are looking to start their own thing, go out and do something that they are passionate about?
Yes, do the research first.
Okay.
I think research equals confidence. So sometimes I'll have clients come with numerous ideas of what they want to start. And as we start narrowing down and doing that research, they'll say, oh, never mind. The day-to-day of that doesn't seem like it's going to fit me. So if you have these ideas swirling in your head, write them down and start researching what the day-to-day would look like as that business owner. And really make sure you get confident and you know that that's what you want to move forward in 100%. And plus, I think the more confident you are, as you talk to a partner, friends, parents, family, whatever, they'll see that confidence in you, because sometimes those people are not entrepreneurial spirited and they will have that fear for you. But if you can say, I did the research, I'm confident, I learned, now I'm going to leap, it just, you feel like you can handle the ups and downs and have success a little quicker by doing that, I think.
I love that. What is next for Second Act Success? Is there something coming up? What are you looking forward to this year?
This year, well, my book comes out on May 7th, so I'm ecstatic to get that out in the world. It's called Start Your Second Act. And then I'll just be speaking a lot. I'm really hoping to speak a lot more on stages this year and next, and get out there and just help women feel like it's okay to make a change and that it doesn't have to disrupt their whole life. So yeah, that's what I'm really focusing on.
It's so exciting. Are you a natural born speaker? Did you have to go teach yourself?
I don't know if it's maybe just working with people who, hosts and talent over the years, but
Yeah.
no, I've definitely never had any coaching around it. It makes me nervous as anything, but I just, again, like a good challenge. So I just go out there and try to be that like girl next door who I think I am, that can relate to women, that they can be like, okay, she's not up there holier than now, like telling me what to do. She's like my friend next door and I can relate to her. And if she can do it, I can do it. So I really just try to be relatable like that.
I love that. I know some people who have to do so much prep and do so many things to feel comfortable on stage. And then some people who are just able to go up there and just absolutely wing it.
I have to do the prep. I'm actually prepping for an event next week. So yeah, I'm prepping.
Shannon, I can't thank you enough for sitting down with me and walking me through everything you're doing. I'm so excited to get my hands on your book on May 7th and just dive into everything more that you've been doing and all the success you've had.
Thank you, Danielle. This is so fun. I feel like we could talk all day.
I know. I love those conversations where I feel like I'm like, are we recording? It's great.
Exactly. Thank you so much.
Yes. I'm going to have all of Shannon's socials down below. Please go give her and Second Act Success a follow. And as always, I will see you guys back here next time. Bye, y'all.